So I was a pretty big fan of the Mephisto version 1. Today we're going to be talking about the Mephisto version 2. First thing we got to go over is the price point. This device, this Mephisto RDA version 2, is above $100. It retails anywhere between $110 and $120 depending on where you get it. Spec time! This is a 22mm dripper and it looks the tits on all the mechanical mods this thing fits on. Now it doesn't fit on all mechanical mods, but we'll get into that in the cons. The Mephisto version 2 is machined from 304 grade stainless steel. You do have options, okay? See this? I've got this gold plated barrel, but you have 4 different options. So when you go to purchase this, you choose what type of barrel you want, whether you want stainless steel, gold plated, copper, or black copper. And the reason why I say black copper, not because it's black copper, but because it's copper that is coated with a powder coating, okay, a black powder coating. Oh yeah, and the price point for each barrel is $19.99. I'm talking about the price for additional AFC barrels, okay? When you go to purchase this, it's included in the package. So the additional AFC barrels are $19.99. That's what I meant. This device does not come with a drip tip, but you do have options. You get 4 different options. You could choose the white Delrin, black Delrin, stainless steel, brass, or copper. Price point per drip tip. Okay, for drip tips, the white Delrin and the black Delrin are $9.99, and then the stainless steel, the brass, and the copper are $19.99. Back to the specs. On the deck, you've got a 3-post design. The post holes in those posts are 3mm in diameter. The juice well, the drip well, is 6mm deep. 6mm deep. On the deck, it's got peak insulators to withstand the heat, or are marketed to withstand the heat. Oh yeah, almost forgot to mention, the negative posts on the deck are milled into the deck. Back on the outside, you've got this Teflon insulated top cap, okay, but it has a 510 drip tip adapter, and that's how it's insulated, okay? It pops in, pops out, easy peasy, what a sleazy. The top cap also has heatsink fins, which is supposed to keep the device cooler longer. At the base of this Addy, it has an adjustable silver-plated 510 pin. Adjustable airflow is a given with most of these devices out on the market today. While this also has adjustable airflow, you can run this thing in single, dual, or quad coil mode. Now the performance. Got this Mephisto version 2 sitting on this DNA 30, this Vapor Shark RDA 30. The build in here is a 0.7 ohm single parallel build using 28 gauge Kanthal. And I got her running at 28 watts. Well, you see it, and she is fogging it. Yeah, so that's pretty much as closed off as you can get in single coil mode. Now in dual coil mode, and I vaped it in dual coil, vaped it in quad, it vapes better to me in dual coil mode than it does in single. Quad, you know, more is not better in my opinion. With this device, it's definitely made for your dual coilers. Single coilers, you still have that option, but I get more flavor in dual coil. I get more vapor in dual coil, but you saw the vapor in single coil. That's in single coil, and you just saw it. I'm going to go ahead and take another pull, and we're going to discuss flavor. What I do love about this build is that I can take long hits, and that's what I like. I'm a long hitter. Long hitter. Yeah, so I'm getting a warm to hot dense, well, I wouldn't say hot, but I'm definitely getting a warm, dense vape out of this. It's really airy. I mean, closed off all the way. Like I said, this is definitely for the vapors who want to chuck the clouds. You get good flavor. I get good flavor, but it's just airy. It's too airy for my taste. It's right along the lines of the Little Boy RDA. The Little Boy is a little bit more airy than this, but I can't get that restrictive. It's not giving me that restrictive lung hit. Not like with other devices that I've reviewed, that I've recently reviewed. And if you're the type of guy you want that airy draw, you're looking for that airy draw and you want to chuck the clouds, this is a good device. You're going to like it. But for me, I wish it were just a little bit more restrictive. I wish I was able to close this off just a little bit more. Oh yeah, and same thing goes for dual coil. I still would not have that restrictive draw that I yearn for. So if you're the type of vapor, you're looking for that restrictive lung hit, and you know what I'm talking about. You're looking for it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't get that as much with this device. And for me, the draw plays a huge factor in flavor production. Now on to the pros and the cons. First, the pros. 1, this device is pretty. Love the engravings on the top cap, which I'll show you guys in the close-ups. Engravings on the barrel are so neat. Yeah, so the machining is pretty damn good. You know what? From now on, for any device that I review, you, I'm going to be rating these devices between a 1 and 10 scale. For this one, I give it a 7.5 out of a 10. 6.5 for me is average. This is above average. It's good machining. Not spectacular. It's not out of this world. It's not totally clean. And you know what? I'm factoring in the quality control. I'm factoring in machine oil, all the gunk, because some of these devices are machined great, but they just don't clean them. These manufacturers don't clean these devices. I would say 98% of the devices coming from smaller manufacturers, they don't come clean as a whistle. Like I said, this device is a 22mm dripper, and when it fits on my mechanical mods, I mean, it looks the tits. Having that adjustable pin at the 510 connection is definitely a plus, and also the fact that it's silver plated, even more of a plus because it's more conductive. Like I mentioned in the specs, the post holes, 3mm in diameter, monsters. Largest post holes that I've seen to date in any RDA. Okay, it makes it easy to use your lower gauge wire. I mean, sky's the limit for you guys out there that like to use that lower gauge, that fat ass wire. The fact that you have a single coil option for this device is a major plus in my book. All RDAs with adjustable airflow should have a single coil option, and this does. The drip well, deep, like I mentioned, 6mm deep. I mean, I can fit a ton of cotton in there, a ton of juice in there. Oh yeah. And you know what? Another thing is, I love how big those screws are. You'll see it. Those screws are monstrous. Like the version 1, the screws are still just as big as the version 1. And I love that because I'm able to screw those down to tighten my connection, to tighten my leads down. I'm able to screw them down manually with my fingers. I don't need a screwdriver. I don't need a flathead. And that just is more convenient for me. Now the cons. First con, this device is not compatible with all my devices. I would say about 75% of all the devices, the variable voltage, the variable wattage devices, this thing is compatible. It screws down all the way, makes a connection. But for some of the mechanical mods, and just like the version 1, I had the same issues. But some of the mechanical mods, I'm having the same issues. I can't screw this thing down onto it. It does not sit flush. It doesn't make connection. It goes down about halfway, 3/4 away, and then stops. It just means that these threads, they're not compatible. They're not compatible. I remember having the same issue with the version 1, and you know what? I've got 2 of these bad boys. 2 of these version 2 Mephistos, and having the same issues with both of them. Okay, screwing down on about 75%, maybe 80%, and the other 20-25% is just not compatible. That's major, a major con. They need to fix that. Gilbert's the guy who manufactures this. You gotta fix it, brother. Gotta fix it. Gotta make these threads compatible. You don't want someone spending $110, $120 on a device, receive it, and then it just doesn't screw onto their favorite mod. I mean, that is gonna put a damper on some of the Vapor's days. Not good. Fix it. Another con, machine oil. When I first received this, man, I cleaned the sucker. Cleaned it like crazy, and then I went to vape it and I tasted machine oil. 110, above $100 especially, you better make this sucker clean. Okay, and other devices that are expensive like this, shit, some of the other ones that are like $200 and above, they got machine oil all over them. What the hell are you thinking, manufacturers? These consumers are spending their hard-earned money, and if they're gonna be spending their hard-earned money, they better damn well get a device that is clean. It better be immaculate. But again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a picky son of a bitch. Ooh, look, I'm wearing different attire. I've been vaping for the last few more days with this device, and I found another con, and that is all the drip tips that I own, the regular 510 drip tips, while they do fit, while each drip tip that I own fits, it doesn't fit tight. It's a little loose. Okay, this is how the majority of them fit right there. Little wobbly. Another drip tip. So yeah, I've been using those drip tips that are made for this that you could buy separately, and finally today I went back to one of my favorite drip tips that I use on pretty much all my devices, and it doesn't fit. I mean, it fits, but it fits loose, as you guys just saw, and that's with majority of the other drip tips that I own. You buy an RDA that doesn't have a drip tip that's compatible, completely compatible, and I mean, what I mean by compatible, I mean it fits snug as a bug. Perfect, no problems, no loosey-goosey. There should at least be a drip tip included. That's what I'm saying. So it's got to be mentioned as a con. So those are the pros and the cons for the Mephisto RDA version 2. Let's go ahead and dive down. I'm going to show you guys this thing broken apart, how to put it back together. Oh yeah, you ready? Let's go. The Mephisto version 2 RDA comes in this cute little box. Wait. Did I just say cute? Yes, I did. This thing is a cutie. You got this lever that sits up front, pops out, whoop, and then lid comes off. And inside, you got your version 2. And here's the V2 all broken down. You've got the deck, you've got the outer barrel, you've got the inner barrel / top cap, and then you've got the 510 drip tip adapter. Regarding the barrel options, as you guys can see, and like I mentioned in FaceTime, I have the gold plated version. Now you can choose which version you want. So they offer stainless steel, gold plated like you guys see, copper, or the black copper. And first I want to start off with the deck. Look at these post holes. Holy shinoli, 3 millimeters in diameter. That is the largest post holes that I've dealt with or seen to date. It's got massive flathead screws which screw down to make your connection with all your leads. And as you guys can see, the negative posts are milled into the deck, and look at that juice well, that deck well. Holy crap, how deep is that? 6 millimeters deep. You have a single O-ring down here at the base which holds on or fastens the outer barrel / inner barrel / top cap. And here's the base of this dripper. Cool little design if you ask me. Okay, it looks like a black oxide coating of some sort. And you've got these threads right here. Threads are smooth. Like I said, it fits on majority of my devices. Some of them I have some issues with, some mechanical mods. But here is the 510 pin, silver plated 510 pin, super conductive. And of course, this pin is adjustable. Got to give you guys one last look at this deck. Also, I do want to show you guys this. See that O-ring right there? It is starting to tear a little bit. And one other place right there as well. You can see that. But the good thing is you do receive spares. You receive a spare O-ring and a spare screw. So here's the gold-plated outer barrel. It says Mephisto on the front and then El Diablo down here on the back. Here's these airflow options. As you guys can see, parallel, you got 2 Cyclops slots, parallel, and then below that you've got these 3 holes. And then here's another thing, just like I mentioned, you can run this thing in single coil as well. 1 Cyclops slot and then 3 holes underneath that. Here's the inside of the barrel. And then here's the top cap / inner barrel. You've got the 2 Cyclops slots parallel on each side, along with the 3 air holes below that on each side. You've got this O-ring which fastens the outer barrel, and then up top you've got these cool little designs. Above that, it also comes with this white drip tip adapter, and that fits up top. Okay, so we're going to run this sucker in dual air hole mode. As you guys can see, you got them both lined up. The 2 Cyclops slots on the outer barrel parallel and the 2 Cyclops slots on the inner barrel parallel. You just line those suckers up like that. Press fit it in there. And as you adjust one slot, it lines up with the hole below that. And as you guys can see, the same on the other side. Open her up, wide open. 3 holes, 1 big slot. To run this thing in single air hole mode, all you got to do is just turn the outer barrel to where you see the single air hole, the big slot and the 3 holes at the bottom. You see how it's blocked off on the other side? We're good to go. All we got to do is just line them up. And it's the same method, only in single air hole mode. And that's about as closed off as you're going to get. Wide open, you just turn it, line them up. Once you have your coil installed and your airflow set the way you want it, slide that sucker right over the coil. And yeah, you got your Mephisto V2 all ready to go. All we need is a drip tip. Here are the drip tip options the manufacturer sent me. You've got the stainless steel, the brass, the white Delrin, and then the black Delrin. I know they offer a copper version as well. The copper, the stainless steel, and the brass are sold separately and are $19.99, and then the white and the black are sold separately as well, and those are $9.99. So just for tits and giggles, I went ahead and chose the white Delrin this time. Perfect, snug as a bug. So that is the Mephisto version 2 RDA. Let's go ahead and take her back to FaceTime. So that is the Mephisto version 2. Where can you get this thing from? Well, there's 2 shops that I know of that you can get this thing right now. One, Vaporgate.com, Vaporgate.com, I'll have a link in the description. And then 2, jkvapes.com. jkvapes.com, also have a link in the description. Like I said, this thing retails between 110 and 120 bucks. At JK Vapes, you can get this thing for 110 bucks. 110 bucks at Vaporgate, it's 120 bucks. Now, if you go to jkvapes.com site, you can go on there and you can choose your options, the color, etc. You could choose whether you want a drip tip, all that. On Vaporgate site, I noticed that it only came with a copper barrel, and you guys know how I feel about copper. I don't like copper. You know, it depends. What are you looking for? What's your budget? If Gilbert, the manufacturer of this device, hadn't sent this to me for review, would I have purchased it? And the answer is no. Probably not, because of the price point. Like I said, for me, an RDA, anything below 100 bucks is good in my book. I just think this market is way too saturated. There's other devices that are below 100 bucks that produce like this one. But that all depends on how much you have. What's your budget? What are you looking for? If this thing looks the tits to you, it's all about what you want. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.